Hi, this is Mr. Enger, and we're talking about the geometry pace 1111. It's the third pace in the geometry course. I'm looking at page 12, but this is the first video for this pace, so I do want to point out that your handbook that's in the middle of the pace, it's really important that you fill it out, answer all the questions as you go. Don't wait till the end and have a big project to do, but treat it like a study guide, and as you're working through it, fill it out. And then make sure that you hold on to these handbooks from the first pace, the second pace, this third pace, and all the way through to the end of the course. Keep them and use them for reference, but it also is very important that you start memorizing these theorems and definitions, because you will need to use them as you move forward, okay? Let's look here at page 12. Back on page 11, there were two theorems. Theorem 11 said if a transversal intersects two parallel lines, then the alternate exterior angles are congruent. So let's think again about what alternate exterior angles mean. It would be like 1 and 7. Exterior means it's on the outside of the parallel lines. So up here and down here. So 7 and 1 are on alternate sides of the transversal. And you notice they are congruent. You can tell by looking at them. And then angle 2 would be congruent to angle 8, wouldn't it? Because they are alternate exterior angles. And then theorem 12 says if a transversal intersects two parallel lines, then the interior angles on the same side, so like this would be 3 and angle 6, would be supplementary. And you remember that supplementary means those angles add up to 180 degrees, or a straight line. Now, just seeing these two angles side by side, they do not look like they would add up to 180. I mean, they're not side by side on the same line. However, angle 2 and 6, you know, are congruent, and these two you can see do form a straight angle. So, and they go through all the proof of why that's so, but now they want us to use it, and they do a kind of a dirty trick. You say, Mr. Enger, it's not fair. We have to do some algebra as part of our geometry. Yes. On page 12, when you get to the bottom, it says use this illustration to calculate these values. And so let's talk about what's involved in doing that. It tells us on problem number 7 that the measure of angle 4 is going to be represented by the letter y, okay? Everybody see y? Y is measure 4. Then they say the measure of angle 5 right here is 2y plus 30. Now let's think about, they want us to solve to find the value of y. You say, but they don't give me enough numbers. Actually, they do. If we use theorem 12, and we know that these two angles are supplementary, isn't that what we just talked about? If they are the two interior angles on the same side of the transversal, then they are supplementary. And we have a variable for this one. We have the same variable y, but 2y plus 30 for this one. And so you can actually set up a very easy algebra equation, something like this. Y plus 2y plus 30. So this represents angle 5. This represents angle 4. All right, we're putting these two angles together, and it's going to equal a supplementary angle. And you know what? I'm not going to go any further than that. I think you know what number you need to put in here to finish this equation. And then it's just a little algebra that you have to do. Remember, you combine the two like terms here, subtract the 30 from both sides, and then it looks like you're going to divide by 3, and you'll have an answer. All right, so that one's pretty easy. Let me erase this, and let's talk about number 12. So number 12 is another one. Excuse me, number 8 is another equation that we're going to use a fact that we know. So we have the measure of angle 2, so that's this one, is represented by x minus 30. Measure of angle 8 is represented by 3x minus 120. Now, from Theorem 11, what do we know about these two exterior angles on alternate sides of the transversal? They are equal to each other, right? And so to solve this, we can say angle 2 is equal to angle 8, or plug in what they're equal to. So x minus 30 equals 3x minus 120. And then just do a little bit of algebra and subtract the x from both sides, add 120 to both sides, simplify, and you get your answer, okay? So I'll let you take that one from there and just do a little substitution. So they do a little bit of that as we move forward in the pace, kind of combining the algebra concepts that you had in the past with the geometry that you're learning now.